It's a brand new season of Under the Microscope, and welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the subscribers, the people who like the videos and commented. It's so nice that you guys are seeing me again. I'm so happy for you. This season, we're tackling mental health and well-being, particularly men's mental health. Because it's a confusing time to be a man, bruh. We can all agree on this. There are expectations for you to fulfill historically traditional male roles like being a provider. But then you can't be too much of a historically traditional male because we haven't been that historically lekker. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to tackle some of the issues in the hope that we can encourage men to be better and do better. And in turn, this will also help everyone else in society. Okay? We're going to do it. Okay. Let's start with putting fatherhood under the microscope. I've got 4 kids, bro. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been overpopulating the earth. And I'm telling myself being a father is actually gangster, bro. You get to shape Lighty's lives and how they turn up in the world. Respect. It's cool being a father figure. But on the other hand, the figure you get as a father, that's not cool, bro. The dad bod, no, man. I'm thin, but I still have the midsection. You know, that midsection. I wanted to be a role model. Instead, I'm modeling my roles. That's not cool. But I want to be a father figure. Now, today, there's a growing myth that dads are dispensable and don't necessarily need to play a central role in their children's lives because some women choose to be single moms. Not only does this myth put undue pressure on moms, but research actually shows that when both parents are fully involved in the children's lives, the household in which they grow up in is likely to be better off. There's less stress on moms as they feel assisted and affirmed in their roles, and the children's nutrition, healthcare, and education is likely to be supported and encouraged. So while single moms deserve all the praise they get, dude, it's a hard job, bruh. We can all agree. They can't always compete with a unified parental front of a dad and a mom. Or, let's be honest, they can't tell dad jokes. That is reserved for us, corny brassa. In fact, not having a dad around may mean less pee on the toilet seat, but it does put more pressure on single moms. But as an aside, maybe I must say this, I actually sit down when I pee, bruh. I do it. My wife has me trained. The reality here in South Africa is that many children grow up without fathers. We have the second highest rate of father absence on the African continent after Namibia. And while this has a lot to do with socioeconomic issues today, the prevalence of absent fathers is still a knock-on effect from South Africa's violent history of slavery, colonialism, and apartheid, where the migrant labor system and forced migration took fathers away from their families. And this destroyed the nuclear family and disrupted traditions and cultures, and has affected generation after generation, with many young men unknowingly repeating the same patterns as their fathers before them. But we can change this pattern, and we must try, because by being absent, fathers can cause feelings of rejection and pain in their children. Psychologist and Associate Professor Malose Langa explains that children who come from households with absent fathers are more likely to suffer from depression and take part in delinquent and risk-taking behavior, including experimenting with alcohol and drugs, bullying, and even early sexual activity. Any parent of a teenager knows that the teenage years are basically just terrible twos, multiplied exponentially, but the screaming is actually replaced with indignant silence. Close the door. I'm fine. What you doing behind the door? So it's much easier to tag team this challenging time, moms and dads together as a united force to manage the teenage mutants. They are mutants. I love them, but they're mutants. And boys learn vital life skills and behavior from a father or a father figure, like importantly how to respectfully interact with girls and women, and how to handle the transition from boyhood to manhood. Boys learn from their fathers, so it's important to be a great example. It's very important. And daughters also benefit big time from having their dads around. Research shows girls who receive consistent physical displays of affection from their fathers turn out to be less promiscuous in later life. Check all the dads running to give their daughters hugs now. Actually, can I just go? Just give me a chance. Can we pause? Okay, no. It's fine. I'll do it immediately at home now. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Girls who have a great relationship with their dads are more likely to do better in school, be more confident, self-assured, and have healthier romantic relationships when they are older. So it's clear, guys. We need awesome dads around. It's important. We need them to be present. That's the buzzword. Be present. Coach, just be present. Be involved, nurture and support their children, and that means both financially and emotionally, because having a good relationship with their children is equally as healthy for men. It's true. Children motivate dads to be healthier. They force dads to be more active. Being a good dad also gives a man a sense of purpose, builds his self-esteem. As a society, we need to support dads in being good dads. Like recently, a photo of a dad kissing his son before school got some unfair and negative criticism on Twitter. One person said, like, I kiss my girls on the forehead, my boy takes a hug and a handshake, but that's all yeah. Right? Don't do that. It's okay. Don't diss this dad and turn his sincere affection for his son into something that's not. I mean, we need to encourage dads to be more open and loving and not treat their sons differently to their daughters. That's gender equality right there. And it's difficult, but it's difficult, like I can kiss all my babies, the younger ones, easily. Like I'm just saying me, right? But my older one is getting hairy, bruh, and like still wants to like sometimes lie in the bed with all of my and like, no, dude, you got knobbly knees, you stubble, no, please. That's something I need to work on, right? We're not all perfect. It's a process. And then there's the money and maintenance issue. There's no doubt that a father must financially support his children. However, a man can only contribute what he can afford, and he should not be deprived access to his children based on what he earns, like some Twitter conversations have suggested. Here's the reality for many Black South African men. For decades, they've had to take on menial jobs that are far away, and even dangerous jobs like going underground as mine workers to earn money to support their children. It might not always be a lot of money, but if this kind of self-sacrifice isn't proof that these men care and love their children and are trying to be good fathers, then I don't know what is. And by the way, you don't have to be a biological father to fulfill the role of a father. I mean, think about it. Peter Parker, aka Rabubi. Remember that, bro? He had Uncle Ben.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Remember that, bro? The Karate Kid had, Daniel-san had Mr. Miyagi. Harry Potter had Professor Dumbledore. Harry. Know that, bro? And the Fresh Prince had Uncle Phil. These are what we call social fathers. And they can be good role models, giving a child emotional and financial support and nurturing relationships. So if you are an uncle, an older brother, a grandfather, or a family friend, step up and assume the role of a father figure if a family situation is crying out for it. You can do it. So guys, let's end off by praising dads and father figures like they deserve to be. Here's to all the fathers, the tatas, the papas, those who want to be better role models, those who aren't there yet but have it in them. You can do it, bruh. Including me. You don't have to do it alone. There's support for men who want to be better dads. You can check out the link below. A lot of information there that can help you, move on. And as always, don't be shy. Show your opinions in the comment section. That's what it's there for. This is Dr. Riyad Moosa signing off for Under the Microscope. Stay awesome. This season on Under the Microscope, we are talking men's mental health. Subscribe now for all the episodes.